All right, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Struggling Day Trader channel. The name is Hassan, and this channel is about my struggle to become a profitable day trader. Been day trading about 3 years now. Still a process, still working on it, still struggling, but I'm sharing my journey, streaming live every market open. If that's your type of thing, you want to join me on my journey, hit that like button and subscribe, man, because we focused, determined. I'm not giving up, man. Anyway, let's go over my trades for the day. So as you know, I've been trading only the SPY, well, the indexes. I've kind of been bouncing around. um wow, what a reversal on the Qs down there, man. All right, so anyway, started this morning. I took a 5 minute opening range breakout on the SPY. um you know, the fact that it had a top tail, this could have been, something to wait on. I think if you're going to jump in early, you really got to pay attention to all the kind of red flags. And I think a big topping tail like that on the five, I don't know. I've seen some like that still go to. So, it's kind of hard to make a hard line rule. Um, but anyway, not a bad trade. Part of the rule book. Part of the rule book. Just stopped out minus 1R. Just didn't work out. So then once I stopped, immediately I'm thinking, because it stops out at the low of the day, right? Because that's the play for the 5 minute opening range. I enter over the break of the high, stop under the low. And man, the Qs are, I mean, the SPY is really running. Um, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, so the SPY broke the low, which stopped me out, and that immediately made me think, okay, well, let me go over here and look at the inverse. And so that was a great idea, and it was a great trade that I got out of it. But the SPY and the Qs are not, they're not pairs. The Qs and the SQs are pairs, right? So it would have made more sense. Here's the Qs down here, to have been watching the Qs. And if I took the 5 minute ORB on the Qs and then got stopped out, then I could have gotten in on the SQs right at the low of the day, right? But I'm watching inverses that are similar to each other, but not exactly the same. So I think we're going to do something about that. So anyway, I flipped over here to the Qs and kind of like bought a late to the game breakout, so I didn't, I risked down to the low of the previous 5 minute candle. So I got 100 shares over 904. Stop was 8.99. So that's $5 stop. And I was patient with this. I didn't have room to add though, because I had a narrow range position on my entry. So it was just as narrow as it was going to be able to get. And it made a high, pulled back to VWAP, and then took off. I did get really aggressive with my stop here, and I regret that, because had I managed this one on the fives, look, I never would have gotten stopped out. I wouldn't have gotten stopped out till here, so this could have been just one big trade, which would have been like 10R with 100 shares, 50-cent move. It's pretty cool, but it's okay. I've been, some days I feel like, man, I gotta manage on the 1R stops, and then days like this, it's just like, come on, man, you gotta manage on the lows, on the swing lows. So, um, yeah, I think that's really that's probably the only way I'm gonna actually make it into a long hold like I want. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. You just kind of you got to commit to something and be good with what it gives you. You know, it's not going to be perfect. but you got to be good with what it gives you. And if not, then you make a modification. So flipped over to the SQs, took just a breakout really, and I got plus 2R from that. And then I took another breakout on the Qs, but I didn't, it wasn't really a setup. It was just a strong move up, and I bought the break of the next candle. It actually was a great play. I just did not size for it properly. I was just kind of jumping in case it just went crazy, but it never really does that. It always pulls back for a minute. So I should have been patient. But anyway, I think I made like $1 on that trade just from slippage. I got slippage in my favor on that one because I had my stop at break even. And then it pulled back and broke out again. And that's when I got in. I had a nice tight position. And that one I was able to ride 3R. 3R on that. So that was this entry here. And I rode it all the way up here. I was just into the profit enough, and this was a big enough move that I just felt like I had to capture it. It just looks like it looked like it was done to me. And you know what? It was, because that was a really good sale. Really good sale. So then I took a SQ breakout again. So both of these were higher day breakouts, which I actually don't have written. So yeah, today is definitely going to be another streak of non-wins. Let's see. Was that a high? No, this wasn't a higher day breakout. This was, yeah, I guess it still was a higher day breakout. So anyway, I traded the Qs really well, which why is that? Because the market was going down all day. And so the Qs was going up all day. I traded the SPY really poorly. Why? Because I was trading to the long side while it was going down. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. The only reversal that I think should be on the table for me would be one that traded up and then came back all the way back down, like to the previous day high or something, right? And then that's a reversal. Like it's still green on the day, but it's below, well below the highs or whatever. Then you reverse it, not one that's just like falling through the floor, constantly breaking levels, and then you're trying to reverse it. That's just not. I don't want to be opposite of the trend ever, So if it's moving down, then flip to the inverse and trade the strength, in the inverse. Um, so yeah, great trades on. I need to trade. I need to be in the right direction. And if it's if it's above the opening range, I'm going long. If it's below the opening range, I'm going short. I mean, I'm inverse. I think that's pretty much the way for me to play it from here on out. So yeah, if above opening range, trade Qs. Below opening trade spot. SQs. So also, I'm switching my tracking from the SPY. Now, I chose the SPY because SPY is the what I've been watching. SPY is what I've been watching the last year maybe while I've been trading. Like, that I just always have a chart with the SPY up and I'm just kind of used to tracking it. So I chose that one. However, the inverse on the SPY is not to my liking at all. And I think inverse trading is going to have to be a part of my thing as a long only trader. And my issue with this is, let's see, low of the day 778, high of day 817. I guess that's a little more of a range than I thought it had. I don't know. It's just kind of ugly though. It's ugly. I like the SQs a lot more. So that being said, I'm gonna switch from the SPY to the Qs. I'm gonna commit to the Qs and the SQs, and this is gonna be my mode basically. So if Qs above opening range, trade Qs. If Qs below opening range, trade SQs. And that's pretty much gonna be it. And I'm gonna trade always to the long side. Man, the market's probably gonna die tomorrow. um, what else? Yeah, no reversals low of day. Um, I can't think of a good reason to put reversals in right now. So I'm just gonna leave those out. And I'm going to not trade them. And if I like one, I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper. And if at the end of the week I wrote enough down on a piece of paper and they were worthwhile plays, then I'll consider adding it. I think that's where I gotta get to. It's just I have to commit to the rules, man. I have to decide before I start trading what I'm gonna do, and then I have to do that till the end of the trading session. I can't just keep flipping in the middle of the session. I'm never going to be consistent that way, ever. So, like today, what rules did I break today? I traded. Did I have reversals? I traded reversals on the 5 minute chart, which the only reversal play I had was on the 15, and that's for a reason. Um, and then I just took a lot of higher day breaks, mostly because I missed out on entering where I would normally enter, and so I was chasing. And I think a big remedy for that is going to be just acknowledging that my focus is going to be solely on the cubes. Um, I might even split this bad boy right down the middle and just have the SQs and the cubes. Might do that. Or even have two order fills, two level twos. That'd be too much though. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan for tomorrow. Um, opening range breakouts and higher high, higher low test of VWAP. I don't know how I would miss that. Um, it seemed like the higher high, higher low to VWAP is mostly going to be an ad because the breakout is going to come before the VWAP test, most likely. And there's really not a reason to miss those setups because I'm staring at them. That's crazy. That almost completely eliminates FOMO, man. Because you're watching it the whole time. How are you going to miss it? Huh. I'm really digging this move, man, to the indexes. Um, yeah, and then the inverse, I like where I'm at as far as the clear line of how I'm gonna play the market. Like if it's above the opening range, then I'm gonna be looking to go long the Qs. If it's below the opening range, I'm gonna be looking to go long the SQs. And I want to build my position at, the near the open before it makes the move. And wow, look what's happening in pre-market. I mean post-market. I don't know why I couldn't do that a few minutes ago. Yeah, I took a little 15 minute reversal at the end of the day. Ended up just stopping break even on it and didn't do anything. Um, should have waited for VWAP or nothing, which would have been this position. Bow, bow. um, yeah. So rule break streak 0 still. Back to 0. Back to 0. Also, also manage ads and stop on 5-minute pullbacks. Simple as that. I think that would keep things very simple. Add on higher, high, higher, low pullbacks on the 5, or don't add at all. And move stops up 5 minutes, 5-minute lows, 5-minute lows. 5-minute pullbacks. Dang, look at the Qs, man. The SQs thing is dumping, man. We might be in trouble, y'all. The market might be in trouble. I might rearrange. I might have to rearrange my screen and make it more make it flow better for what I'm doing now. We'll see. I like this. I like this a lot right here. But hmm. This actually doesn't even need to be on my screen. Interesting. Yeah, I might do some changes. I might make some changes. I think I can actually, yeah, because I can make this a lot smaller. If all I'm trading is two things, it's always going to be the Qs or the SQs, right? Which means this is going to be a lot smaller because there's only going to be a couple orders. And yeah, nobody's ever like requested to see orders. Plus, you can see the order on the chart, so I don't really need to have this visible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rework some things. Anyway, I think these are going well. Plus 3R today. Made some good trades and some clear mistakes, but I think the focus has shifted to what's the most important, which is rule breaks. Rule breaks, rule breaks. I have to be robotic. I have to make habits of not changing rules. Like when I think to break a rule, I have to have a habit that triggers in my mind that says, no, we don't break rules. You know what I mean? Like, I think the why will help a lot. You know what I mean? Um, I have a mentor now. Alex, I'm calling you my mentor. Um, but we were talking about kind of having I've been talking about this actually for a while now. It's having like a morning routine to get my mindset like in the same spot every morning. Like, uh, but yeah, I got to sit down every morning, go over my rules, go over the why of the rules, why I don't buy, after long top and tails, what I've seen happen so many times. Like, make it fresh. Probably could, I mean, really screenshots for all these things too. Screenshots of my good plays, what they look like. You could really build a strong morning routine, you know. Look at what the bad setups look like. Why we don't do that. Why we don't do that. Look at the good setups. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're looking for. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Yeah. So still a lot to develop in this thing, but I think it's going well. I need to get a number. Just to be able to move the rule break streak to 1. To be able to come in here and at the end of the day be able to change this to a 1. Honestly, that's going to be huge. That's the goal. I remember when I was struggling with going long under VWAP. was just doing it every day. I would come in here, do a journal, kick myself, promise that I wouldn't do it again, and then the next day I go long on the VWAP. And it was just like it was hard. It took a while to stop doing it, and then now today I took a bunch of reversals. But that's kind of why I don't want to get into reversals, because I've built these habits of, no, we don't go longer under VWAP. Every time I see a setup starting to set up under VWAP, it triggers in my mind, nope, we don't go longer than VWAP, remember? Oh yeah. And then I move on. But now start looking for reversals. Oh, well, this is a reversal though. You know what I mean? So um yeah, for now, I'm chilling on the reversals again. And yeah, so I gotta start stringing together days of not breaking my rules. That's the first thing. Like, goal number one is to get to 1 day, right? Then two, then three, then like 10. Can you imagine 10 days without breaking rules? Then you really get to see if your strategy is good or not. Like, I think my strategy is good, but I mean, honestly, I have not traded it very well. I've caught very good trades, but as far as consistency goes, like, it's just not there. So this is the only way that I'm ever gonna find out. Like, my data, all my data in my trading journal, to me, it's like so corrupted because it's all filled with rule breaks. Like, literally. So hmm, yeah, I got to figure this thing out. I also need to do a little more studying on the 5 minute opening range breakouts. I just, like, just because it broke over the 5 minute range, you're just gonna buy it. Like, I feel like there needs to be a little more criteria. That's why I like having the two up, so I can kind of see what's going on inside of that uh 5 minute candle. Let me see what was going on the SPY this morning. That actually was pretty decent action inside of the 5 minute candle. You know, tested the lows, came up, broke up, held, pulled back, and then broke up again. And then I bought the break over that high, and then it moved up. It just rolled the heck over. Yeah. So yeah, looking up the two, I think will help with the 5 minute ORBs. Um, man. All right, I'm rambling. All right, so tomorrow's goal: come here in the morning, read over my rules, talk to myself, get myself in the right mind, and then to have a day with no breaks. That's all I want. I want to move my stop to break even when it gets to 2R, and I want to manage on the 5 minute swing lows, right? Daily max loss is 3R, right? No entries below VWAP, like all of that. You know what I mean? So that's really that's where we're at right now. I'm good on the charts. I'm good on my trades. I know how to do all of that stuff. Just got to stick to the plan and string together these rule break days. I think the P&L is just gonna handle itself. All we got to do is stop breaking the rules. Simple, yet extremely difficult. All right, but that's all I got for today, man. As always, I appreciate you guys so much. Hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button. Um, man, the community's growing. The trading experience for me in the morning is awesome with you guys. I appreciate it so much. Um, but let's get to it, man. I'll see y'all in the morning. Peace.